All right, we'll wrap up the show with a little bandwagon riding. How about that?
Get off the bandwagon.
It's time for bandwagon riding. Getting on, getting off. Make up your mind, all right?
All right. Are we hopping on or off? DeAndre Hopkins, 8 receptions, 11 targets, 140 yards. Wow. The Titans kind of lit it up a little bit in Indy. Somewhat of a high-scoring game with those teams, division rival. I am not jumping on the DeAndre Hopkins bandwagon. I was off it to start the season. I refuse to jump on the passing game in Tennessee. So I am on the Tyjae Spears bandwagon. Absolutely. What did he finish? 16 points this week, 17 points, running back, catching a lot of balls out of the backfield. That's who I want. So I know you say, well, I thought you didn't want the passing game. I don't want the receivers or tight end. I'm not buying it. I don't want Tannehill. I like Spears as a guy getting more and more opportunity alongside Derrick Henry. And then if Henry, again, all running backs get injured, if he goes down, Spears is a guy you want. But Hopkins, I got to see some consistency, and I just can't trust Tannehill. So as good as Hopkins looked good. I mean, he looked like old school Hopkins lighting it up in Houston, DeAndre Hopkins. That's what he looked like out there. I just don't buy it yet. I'm not willing to jump on that. All right, how about in that same game, Josh Downs, rookie wide receiver for Indy, 6 receptions on 6 targets for 97 yards. Oh, yeah, I'm on that bandwagon. I picked him up. Somebody dropped him. I was thrilled to not only pick him up, but I started him this week. And him and Gardner Minshew have a connection. So now that Minshew's out there, he is a weapon that the Minshew looks to. So I like Josh Downs a lot. Now, he's a flex guy. And as we know, rookie wide receivers up and down, even Jordan Addison. Well, I told you I'm out on the Vikings, but another wide receiver kind of up and down. That's what happens with rookie wide receivers. But I like the prospects for Downs. All right, in Buffalo, James Cook, -4 rushing yards, 5 fantasy points, 3 receptions, 25 receiving yards. I'm off that bandwagon. I was kicking myself early in the season. I was like, oh man, I wish I would have drafted him. He's the one guy that kind of got away. I never was able to get him. I'm not jumping on that. No, thank you. So I think he'll have a couple good games without a doubt. The Buffalo offense is good. How about Gabe Davis? Woo, big day for him. I like that. It's just too inconsistent. We know what Buffalo is. They like to pass and they like Josh Allen to run the ball. They don't rely heavily on their running backs. As talented as James Cook is, it's too up and down. It's too unreliable. I'm not on that bandwagon. How about Breece Hall? 28 points with the Jets. You definitely have to jump off the Dalvin Cook bandwagon, but the Breece Hall bandwagon needs to be reconsidered. I'm willing to jump on that one. I am. We know the talent. It's just been kind of, is he healthy enough? And can the offense do enough? Now, Zach Wilson is still a problem. He's still an issue. That was a big win. I'm glad they beat Denver. That was pleasing to all of us, right? We love that. Unless you're a Broncos fan, but every neutral fan loved seeing that one. But Breece Hall, that was a dominant performance. They've got to rely on that run game. I think they will. I think they know the talent they have in Breece Hall. Breece Hall's worth jumping on the bandwagon for moving forward. But again, the Jets are tough to trust. But I think overall, Breece Hall is worth trusting. So hang on to him. Don't. Hopefully you haven't already moved on from him, because 28 points is a big deal. It was interesting this week. Not a lot of points at the running back position. Not as deep. It was sort of a weird week for running backs. Christian McCaffrey, 13 points, let me down. Tight ends, quarterbacks, a little bigger day for them. A couple random wide receivers were premier guys this week. So an interesting week of fantasy. But man, it's always fun.